How many games will the Los Angeles Rams win in 2025? What's going on, Rams house, as we call it, Rams fans? It's your boy Mayon Jones here, back with another NFL record prediction. At this time, we'll be doing an NFL record prediction for the Los Angeles Rams for a 2025 NFL season. So let's get started here. So before I'm gonna give you my game by game announcement, my game by game pick, see which games I think the Rams will win, and to see which games I think the Rams will lose. So before I give you my record prediction for the Los Angeles Rams for a 2025 NFL season, don't forget to put a thumbs up to like the video, subscribe to my channel for more options, and comment down your opinion below to see how far you think the Rams will be. Do you think the Rams are going to win the division? Do you think they're going to make the playoffs? Or you think they're gonna miss out on the playoffs? Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. So week 1, they play at home against the Houston Texans. This is going to be a fun game to watch. Now, this game can go either way. Now, most people could be on the Texans because, the Texans, have a good defense. And, they have a great pass rush and the good corners. Maybe there's chances that you could totally expose the Texans defense, but I don't really know. But I think it will be a low-scoring game. But at the end of the day, I'm going with the Rams here, and here's why. Because I think, the Rams, have a great pass rush. They can get after Stroud, make life difficult on them, and, so I think the pass rush will be the difference, maybe, because the Texans' offensive line is probably going to struggle in week 1, and it could be dealing with some learning curves because they got some new pieces on the offensive line that's probably going to struggle here on the road in LA, where LA has to deal with that crowd noise and the communication, where the LA is probably going to be pumped, like the stadium will be pumped. And I feel like that's going to be bad for the Texans offensive line that's probably not going to be ready for a pass rushing team like the Rams. So yeah, and I think their Rams offense can put up a big game here. And I think they can move the ball a little bit on the Texans to keep, the Texans, defense on their heels and keep Stroud off the field. So yeah, I think the Rams can win this game. But the only way the Texans can win this game is that if they can at least get a pass rush on Stafford and make life difficult on them. So yeah, and then their offense can put up a good game here and find a way to move the ball against the Rams defense. Even though the Rams secondary is a little bit slow, I still think the Rams find a way to win this game with their defense, stepping up. Then week 2 against the Tennessee Titans. I think they will beat the Titans because I just don't really think the Titans offense is going to be ready for a pass rushing team like the Rams. And I think the Rams pass rush can totally be the difference maker, especially against one of the weakest offensive lines that the Titans have. So, yeah. And all of a sudden, the Titans, defense, they're good against the run, but not against the pass. I think you can expose them, especially with Devontae Adams and Nacua. So, yeah. And on top of that, the Rams just got the better overall roster, the more complete team, better coaching staff, better quarterback. So, yeah. Then week 3 against the Philadelphia Eagles. This is a rematch from the playoffs. I obviously got the Eagles winning this game because here's why. I just don't think that the Rams going to be able to stop Saquon. I need to see the Rams stop Saquon before I believe it, because I don't think you're going to be able to at least stop the run. I don't care if the Eagles are running for over 200 yards, 300 yards a game. The Eagles can run past you and all that. And basically, I don't really care about if you're beating them in 1984 or 1970 or 1975. Who knows? I'm not picking the Rams to beat the Eagles or stop Saquon unless I see it, because basically, on the other side, the Eagles do have a great defense, though, a great defensive line that can really make life difficult on Stafford, and they can stop the run really well, which I don't think the Rams are going to be able to run the ball much. But the Eagles are good against the pass, so maybe they can find a way to at least stop their passing game. And Fangio's going to blitz a lot and all that, so yeah. And also, on the other side, Eagles offensively can beat you many ways because they can throw the ball I don't think that the Rams have the corners to match up well with the Eagles receivers. Especially, I don't think your defense will have answer for AJ Brown or Devonta Smith or Dallas Guyer. Like, you guys don't really have the cover guys to match up well with the Rams receivers. So yeah. So basically, I think it will be close, but I think the Eagles win. But overall, I think the Eagles are just a more complete team overall. So yeah. The next game, week 4 against the Indianapolis Colts. I think they will beat the Colts because I don't know who the Colts quarterback is going to be. Is it going to be Matthew Stafford or Daniel Jones? I don't think the Colts are going to be ready for a pass rushing team like the Rams because I think the Rams defense can at least like get pressure and stuff like that. And also, I'm not too worried about your secondary. So as long as you crowd the box and stop the run, you should be fine. And also, I just don't have a believer in the Colts defense to be able to at least like stop, the Rams receivers. So yeah, like I don't think Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua will go off, and Matthew Stafford's gonna dice them up. So yeah, and also the Rams has got the better coaching staff, better quarterback. They're at home, and they're just a more complete team. So yeah, that's pretty much why. Next game, week 5 against San Francisco 49ers, Thursday night on a short week. I think the Rams will beat the Niners once because basically, last year they did beat them twice, which, that's where their defense started balling out. Where the Niners, last year in the game, the Niners had a lead in one game, and all of a sudden they ended up letting the Rams come back on them. Like, yeah. So basically, I think the Rams will win the first matchup because basically he's in LA, and also, the Rams has got the better quarterback. And the coaches are even as well, so yeah. And also, I think the Rams, will be up to the task for that game. So yeah. All right, next game, week 6 against the Baltimore Ravens. I got the Ravens win this game because I think the Ravens are no. I just don't really think the Rams have the speed on defense to match Lamar, Derrick Henry, and Zay Flowers. So yeah, because I don't think you guys don't really have like the cover guys to like cover against Zay Flowers, DeAndre Hopkins, Rashad Bateman, and Mark Andrews. So yeah, and Lamar's probably gonna dice you up. He can run, he can expose your defense. Like, yeah. And on the other side, the Ravens defense is really good, especially at home where they find a way to stop the run. They find a way to confuse quarterbacks. Like, I think they can get after Matthew Stafford and make life difficult on them. And plus, they have good corners in the secondary that can really match up well with their receivers. So yeah, I kind of remember that game from 2 years ago where it was a high scoring game, and the Rams were close to winning that game, but all of a sudden the Ravens did win by a punt return by a touchdown. So yeah, I think the Ravens can win this game, but here's the thing. If the Ravens can get up early, they'll probably blow the Rams out. So yeah. So I think the Ravens will win that game. But I know a lot of people are picking the Rams to win, but I think Baltimore will win because I think Baltimore is just overall more complete team. So yeah. Then next game, week 7 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is another game that can go either way. I call it a trap game though, but you know what? I'm gonna come back to that one. Then they get a bye week 8. Then after the bye week, they gotta play against the New Orleans Saints at home. I think they'll easily beat the Saints because they're coming off a bye. They'll be well prepared and rested. And the Saints are probably going to be one of the worst teams in the league because I don't know who the quarterback is going to be. It's going to be Tyler Shuck or Spencer Rattler. Like, I wouldn't trust a young quarterback in LA, especially against a good pass rush like the Rams. Like, yeah, I mean, the Saints' offensive line is dreadful. Their defense old and could be dreadful. I think the Rams, they should be able to move the ball against them. The Saints don't have the corners to match up well with Devontae Adams and Puka, so yeah. And plus, the Rams got the better offense. They're more explosive. They're like the more explosive offense and have the better quarterback and the better coaching staff. And they're the more complete team. Like, the Saints got a rookie head coach in Kellen Moore, who I'm not a believer in. So, yeah. So, I think the Rams should easily win that game. Week 10 against San Francisco 49ers in San Francisco. I think they'll lose the second matchup in San Francisco because here's the thing. I just don't see the Rams sweeping the Niners like last year because the Niners pretty much own this rivalry. The only reason why the Niners really struggle in that second matchup because the Niners offense couldn't get their offense going. So, and I think they're gonna have a bounce back season, and especially with them being healthy, and they'll have more to play for because I feel like they need this win more than the Rams because the Niners could be a team that's probably gonna make the playoffs this year, which I think they will. And I feel like Kyle Shanahan has had answers for the Rams defense as well. And also, I just feel like, Robert Saleh, he has done a really good job, against the Rams offense. Like he found a way to confuse the Rams offense in this game. But I feel like with him coming back to San Francisco, I think he'll have a good game plan against the Rams offense where he did in San Francisco. I mean, he did really good confusing in the Rams offense in the past. So I think he can do it again in this game. So yeah. And also, I feel like there's a game where I think the Niners can get a lead, and then also they can totally blow them out because we've seen that happen before, and especially the Niners defense matched so well with Niners match up with the Rams really well, especially on both sides of the ball. So yeah, that's why I think the Niners will win. Next game, Week 11 against the Seattle Seahawks. I think will beat the Seahawks because at home, because playing in LA is tricky. And I feel like with the bad offensive line going on the road in LA is going to be tough. I think the Rams pass rush will come to play and make life difficult on Sam Darnold. Because even when Sam Darnold was a Viking, especially in that playoff game where he was a Viking, like the Rams defense like got after him and they rattled him and they was able to force mistakes. Like, yeah, I think they can do that in this game. And even like like the Ravens, like Mike McDonald, I think the Rams offense can move the ball against them. So especially against a good Seahawks defense. So yeah. And I feel like the Rams have owned Seattle. So yeah, that's pretty much why I think the Rams will win. Next game, week 12 against the Bucks. I think they will beat the Bucks because McVay has found answers for Bowles' defense, and they found a way to at least and he had found a formula to attack Todd Bowles, even when Tom Brady was with the Bucks, and when he was playing, the Rams still beat the Bucks because the Rams offensively found a way to get after the Bucks secondary, get after the Bucks defense, and they can do that again. And if he tries to blitz too much and tries to be way too aggressive, I think Stafford can make him pay because Stafford can see the field really well, and the Rams are really good at picking up blitz packages. Like Stafford knows where to go with the ball. Like he see which blitz is coming and which blitz is not. So yeah. And also, I think the Rams pass rush can totally get after the Bucks and get after Baker Mayfield, make life difficult on them. So yeah, even though I'm really not too worried about your secondary. So as long as you crowd the box and stop the run, you should be okay. You should be fine. So yeah, I think the Rams will win because the Rams, I think they're just like the more complete team, and I think they have the better quarterback and coaching staff as well. So yeah, I'm going with the Rams here. Week 13 against the Carolina Panthers. I think they will beat the Panthers because I think the Panthers, they're probably gonna be much improved. They got a solid offensive line, but their defense is a little sketchy. So I just don't really see how the Panthers defense is going to be able to at least overwhelm the Rams offense. So yeah. So basically, I think Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua is going to be too much for the Panthers secondary to handle, and I think Stafford can dice them up. Like I just don't see how the Panthers defense is going to be able to at least stop the explosiveness on the Rams offense because I feel like the Rams do have the more explosive offense and the more explosive defense. Where I think their defense will make more plays to get after Bryce Young, make him uncomfortable. So yeah, I think it will be a close game, but I think the Rams find a way to win this game because they have the better quarterback and better coaching staff and a more complete team. And Carolina, maybe they can put up a fight here because Dave Canales was Seahawks offensive coordinator, but he just couldn't find a way to beat the Rams throughout the past couple of years. So yeah, I think the Rams can win, but even if they get a lead early, they could totally blow the Panthers out. So yeah. Um, Week 14 they play against Arizona Cardinals. I think they'll lose to the Cardinals once. So I'm gonna say they lose that game to in Arizona because Arizona is a tricky place, could be a tricky place as play at, and Kyler Murray's a tricky quarterback to defend. The Cardinals did improve their defensive line a little bit through free agency and throughout the draft, but they do got a good offensive line and some good weapons on offense like Marvin Harrison Jr., um, James Conner, and Trey McBride that can really give the Rams defense some problems. Even last year, um, the Cardinals did split the Rams, where one game the Cardinals did at least dismantle them because we're out with the Rams not being healthy on offense. So yeah, so I think the Cardinals will win that game. Week 15 against the Detroit Lions at home in LA. This is another game that can go either way, but I called it my trap game because I don't really know. So yeah. So yeah, so basically, it's a tricky game, but most people could be on the Rams because they're at home and Stafford, can at least dice up the Lions defense. But I don't know. I'm gonna come back to that one. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it as a tie. Week 16 they play against Seattle Seahawks at home on the road in Seattle on a short week. I'm gonna say they're gonna split with the Rams because even last year they did because the reason why I think the Seahawks will beat the Rams for a second time because I think the Seahawks, I think, Mike McDonald will have a good plan how to defend Stafford and all that. So, yeah. So basically, I think Seattle will win one matchup, but Seattle might have more to play for. And, the Rams may not need to win this game because they could already be clinching a playoff berth. So, yeah. So I think Seattle will win that game at home. Week 17 against the Atlanta Falcons on a Monday night in Atlanta. I'm taking the Rams here because the Rams are just like the more complete team, and the Rams just got the better quarterback and better coaching staff. And I just think they just have the more explosive offense. Like I don't think the Bucks, like the Falcons, I don't really think they're gonna be be a lot of explosiveness on offense because I don't know if Michael Penix is gonna be good. He's a little unproven, and I just have a really feeling that that I just really think that when you look at it, I just really think that when the Rams, with the Rams got the better defense and they have a better pass rushing, and I just think they can get after Michael Penix and make life difficult on them. So yeah, I mean, if Penix can find a way to at least have time, he can dice up the Rams secondary. But I don't really know because I think the Rams can play zone against them. Like I'm really not too worried about your secondary. So as long as you can stop the run, crowd the box, force some mistakes, I think you should be fine. So yeah, I think the Rams will win that game. And then last game, week 18 against the Arizona Cardinals, I think they'll split with the Cardinals and get a win there. So overall, I got the Rams at 12-5-2. Basing on the wins, I think the Rams are probably going to at least win one of these games between the Jags and the Lions. Because I think the Jags is tough to predict because it can go either way. But at the same time, the Jags are very explosive on offense. They got good weapons like Brian Thomas and Travis Hunter. But their defense is a little sketchy, but they're good against the run, but not against the pass. So, yeah, that's a tricky one. But I know a lot of people's on Jacksonville to pull off an upset, though, because Jacksonville is good on offense. But I don't really know. That's a tough one. But they're probably going to win one of the Jags or Lions games. They're going to lose one of them, but I don't think they're going to win both or lose both. So You know what? I'm gonna say the Rams are gonna beat the Jags because I think the Rams has got the more proven coaching staff. Like I'm gonna take the Rams, even though the Jag, even though it's in London, the Jags play well in London. I'm just gonna take the team that has like the more proven coaching staff, and which is the Rams, and the Rams got the better quarterback. And also I think the Rams are the better team, and they have the better defense than Jacksonville. Like they have a better pass rush because I think the Rams defense will make more plays, and the Jags secondary, like they're especially against the pass, are not really good. I think Matthew Stafford and that Rams offense can get after them. And I don't think the Jags defense will have answer for Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. So, yeah. But I think the only way if Jacksonville can pull off this win is that their offense can find a way to move the ball and that their defense can find a way to get after Stafford and confuse them, the Rams offense. So I think the Rams will win that game. Then week 15, I'm going to take the Lions to beat the Rams because I think, the Lions can match the Rams physicality because they beat them so many times. I think their defense matched up well with the Rams. And I just really think, their pass rush can totally give after Stafford and give the Rams offense problems. I think they can stop the Rams running game. And I just think their secondary has good corners. Like I think they can match up against the Rams receivers. So as long as their defense don't give up big plays to to Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua, they should be fine. I think they can stop the run. So yeah. So basically, I will take the Lions. Hold on. Hello? No, I didn't hear. My bad. What? Oh yeah. Well, anyway, Dan's upstairs. He don't. He can just come upstairs then. He can come upstairs with us. You don't want to come up there? No, he don't. Okay. All right, I'll come down there. Dan said he's coming downstairs. So yeah, so basically, I'm going to take the Lions to win because I think the Lions have the better defense and they'll make more plays. And I think the Lions defense is tough to run on because they're physical, they're aggressive, and especially on offense because they have good weapons like Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta, Jameson Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Dave Montgomery. Like they got so many weapons on offense that the Rams got to deal with. And I just don't really think the Rams have the cover guys to match up well with the Lions receivers. And I think those guys will be a problem. So that's why I think the Lions will win. Especially I think the Lions are even I know that is in LA, but I think the Lions are a much more physical team. Even though they lost their coaches, I still think the Lions will win. So yeah. So overall, I have the Rams going 11-6. And I got them making the playoffs though. But I think there's another team that's going to challenge the Rams. So yeah. So basically, 11-6 is good enough for the Rams to make the playoffs, but I think they're going to lose some games because, depending on, about their health situation. I mean, last season they start the season off slow and all of a sudden they have turned around because, the Rams, were not healthy. Some had to do with the Rams not being healthy on their roster. Like, yeah, because due to injuries, but it just could happen. Like, the Rams, I feel like the Rams could be the expected winner division, but I don't really know. I feel like there's another team that will challenge them because, so yeah, but as you look at the Rams schedule, it's very difficult because they have to play the Texans, which is the first place schedule. They got to play the Eagles as the first place schedule. They got to play the Niners twice. They got to play the Ravens. They play the Jags in London. They play the Cardinals twice, the Seahawks twice. They play the Bucks, and they play the Lions. So yeah, that's basically not an easy schedule. So like I said, I think the Rams. I can see them being as good as 12-5, 13-4. I think 13-4 will be at best, but I think they'll probably at least go like 9-8 at worst if they have so many injuries and Stafford missed a couple games. So yeah, I think they can go somewhere from like 12, like 10 to like 13 wins, but maybe 14-3 at best. So yeah. So that's my prediction for the Rams. I think they'll go 11-6. So let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. It's Emmanuel Jones. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to put a thumbs up to like the video, and also you can at least check out my other YouTube videos to see more of my NFL 2025 record predictions. So yeah, it's Emmanuel Jones, big fan. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys later. Peace.